Okay, so I'm going to play a video. Sorry, when I play, can you guys hear me? Can you hear the video?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Welcome to Catalyzing Change Week. This year's Catalyzing Change Week is about solutions from the front lines by social innovators. In 2022, Catalyst 2030 concentrated its efforts on bringing proximate leaders and frontline solutions to the forefront. Collaborations led by members from the Global South produced groundbreaking reports on climate and transforming education, with an emphasis on offering local solutions. We continued our mission to create an enabling environment for social entrepreneurs to flourish by initiating a letter to donors, signed by more than 1,200 social entrepreneurs and innovators. The Catalyst 2030 awards ceremony was spectacular, and the awards themselves welcomed by the private sector, governments, bio multilaterals and donors.
Catalyst 2030 as a movement is disruptive.
One of the best things I think that's come out of Catalyst 2030 so far is incredible collaboration across the ecosystem that just didn't exist before Catalyst came into being.
The thing I love most about Catalyst is that it's an open movement for social entrepreneurs around the world.
I'd encourage anyone who's looking to be more connected with their local communities around social development goals to come along to Catalyzing Change Week.
Welcome to Catalyzing Change Week.
Great. So we have a few housekeeping rules. I'll put it in the chat right now. Give me a second.
Sorry, Joy, I missed what you said right now.
Okay, so I was saying that we have housekeeping rules for so I'm putting it in the chat right now. Also, we want to know your names and where you're from, so please put in the chat, and also edit your name on Zoom. You can just go to where your name is, the 3 dots on the side, and click rename. So your name and then your organization. Okay, so you can start.
Thank you, Joette. Thank you for that. And actually, you already did one point of my introduction. That was I would invite everyone to introduce yourself through the chat, sharing your name, the organization you're from, and also your contacts if you wish to connect. But let me start by welcoming everyone and thank you for joining this session today. We are very happy to have you. We're very happy to be here today, and also wanted to thank Catalyst 2030 for this opportunity. We're quite new members of Catalyst, and we joined at the moment of the most important part of the year, which is the Catalyzing Change Week, and they gave us the opportunity to host this session. And that's why today we are here, and we're going to share with you a little bit of our experience and our solution to see if this could be a solution that can also be implemented in many other parts of the globe. Before starting, so my name is Clara Tripodi. I am from Speak Central team, and today I'm here with different members of the team, but also with 3 speakers that will be join me in this presentation. We have Clara from Speak Castelo Branco in Portugal. We have Anna from Speak Ipswich in UK, and then we have Narmin, that he is the founder of Speak Lithuania. She's not with the camera on just because she has bad connection, and that's why you don't see her, but she's there and she's gonna follow us along the presentation and joining us, sharing her experience as well. So what I will do while you introduce yourself in the chat, I will share my screen. Please let me know if along the way there's something that is not working properly and you don't see something, or I disappear at the same time. That happens sometimes in Zoom. This is a little bit our agenda of the day. So after this small introduction, we're going to start right away and kick off with the presentation of Speak as a solution for creating inclusive communities. And then we're going to have a last part of the presentation of the day with a small Q&A where you will be able to join and also bring your question, your doubts, and anything that is related to today's presentation. Before I start introducing you Speak, I want to start with a very quick survey. And I would like to invite you to answer to the question that I will make to you using emoji and reaction on Zoom. So you can find them down on the line of the Zoom. I will make you 2 questions. I would like to ask you, if it's a yes, your answer, please put an emoji out there, because I think this is very important to see where we attempt to start. So I'm going to start with the first question. And the first question is, if in general, if you've ever felt alone and you didn't know who to ask for help in your daily life, while traveling, while living abroad in general. You can also raise your hand eventually. I can see most of you, but not all of you. Okay, so I see some yes, I see some thumbs up in the reaction. And then let me do a second question. And the second question is, if when traveling or moving countries, have you ever felt that you were lost and you couldn't understand anyone in the city where you were? Let's see some answers here. Is it yes? Is it no? We have some raise up hands. Why is this survey important for us? It's important because we do not know each other. We do not know our backgrounds. We do not know our histories, and we don't know what we have been living. But I can see that most of you have raised up your hand and answered positively to these questions. And this means that even if we do not know each other, we have already felt the same feeling lost, feeling that you were not understood, feeling that you were not feeling at home, even if we have completely different backgrounds. So we have been living similar experiences. And this is the starting point for our journey today. The fact that even if we do not know each other, and even if we do not know a lot of people that is around in the globe out there, we know already that a lot of us have an and similar experience. Why I'm saying this? I'm saying this because the problem that it's important to mention here and that we're trying to solve is the fact that nowadays the number of migrants is rising every year constantly. And we reached in 2020 very high number of migrants. And among these migrants, we have a very high percentage, you can see here the number, where international migrants are globally in need of integration services. When migrants are moving to a new country, and when I'm talking about migrants, I'm talking about any type of migrants. It can be anyone that is in need of moving, someone that is choosing to moving, someone that is in a situation where he's forced to move. We are always facing different challenges. All of us have different challenges, but there are some challenges that are the main ones and that are similar. And among these, we have 2 challenges. One is the fact of not knowing the language of the country where we're moving. And the second one is the fact of not having family and friends next to you that are supporting you in the social integration, the social process integration in your new city. And these are the 2 main reasons that pushed us to come to our solution, to come and to create Speak. So what are we and what we do? Speak is an impact organization, and what we do, we promote the social inclusion of migrants and refugees in their new city, giving them the possibility to create a support network in their new city, so that these people can create relationship of trust and friendship and loyalty together with the new people in their city. How do we do this? The idea is we have a very informal methodology, and we have a structure that enables locals and newcomers to connect, to really share who they truly are, and to really bring what they can add to the new society. How do we do this? We do this through two main activities. At Speak, we have created a platform, and this platform enables anyone to join Speak, either to learn a new language and a new culture, so to be a participant, to join the Speak experience. On the other side, you can also join Speak to help others to learn their language and their culture, to be a buddy. That's what we call our amazing members of the community, people that is willing to share and to meet new people and that is scared of joining this community. And then we also have other option, which is to join the community to promote and participate into events. What is the idea? We have language groups and we have events, and the idea is that through this experience, usually a language group has a duration of 12 sessions, people is not only starting to learn the first word in Portuguese, the first word on how to say my name is in English, or to ask for how can I buy this specific tool, like this specific thing in the supermarket in French. Like, they're not only learning these small phrases to start integrating to society, but they're also starting to meet people, they meet friends, they get to know each other. And by the end of the journey, what happens is they will also be able to solve bigger problems, like how can I register my taxes in this new country? How can I sign up in the health system in this country? How does this part of the bureaucracy work? So the idea is really to create this support network that people is in need of when they're moving to a new country. So this is a little bit how the Speak experience work, and what are our main products out there. Why Speak is a little bit different than other solutions that are out there in the market to learn languages and to get to know more people in your new city. Speak solution is a completely community-based solution, meaning that we as Speak, we empower the others to be the real change makers in their society. We are only present in the background. We have created the platform, we have technology, we have the methodology, but then who is the real change makers are the community members. And it's everything community-based, so from the community to the community. Other point is the fact that learning the language, it's not the real end. What really matters to us is connecting people, giving the possibility for them to have a safe space where they can feel comfortable, where they can meet other people, and then at the same time, they can also learn the language. And finally, using the technology. For us, the fact of using technology is very important. Nowadays, we're always with our phone in our hands. We know how important it is to be updated, to be online. So that's why we're always trying to keep up our technology updated. We have a mobile app, we have a platform. We really try to have our Speak experience as accessible as possible for everyone. And also the fact of using technology is enabling us to reach more people, a bigger community out there, and that's why we're really caring about this part. I want to mention that since we were created and we were founded in 2014 here in Portugal, and then we started our journey of spreading our community and scaling up and getting to new cities, we have been also starting measuring the impact of our project. Up to today, we reached more than 70,000 people around the globe with more than 200 nationalities. And you can see here some of the numbers of the impact that we have created. But I don't want to talk about this because I think that the people that are today on this call, that are the founders of the project in other 3 cities, can really bring some stories here and can really show you this impact in numbers, but in real experiences. So I would like to invite our founders to share a little bit about their experience. And if you could please share one story from your community. Maybe we can start with Anna, if that's possible.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So my name is Anna. I am originally from Portugal, but I have founded Speak in Ipswich. Ipswich is a small town in the east of England. If you don't know, it's not very, it's not one of the top ones, but Ed Sheeran is from here. So there we go. So we started in 2020. Obviously, the pandemic had a little, hiccup there. But I do have a story today from one of our participants that came from Afghanistan. This participant, he was in Russia studying when the Taliban took over the government in in Afghanistan. He's not allowed back in the country because he was very much against the Taliban regime. He had posted a lot of videos and a lot of vlogs actively talking bad about the Taliban regime. So he's now in the UK and he is here in Ipswich as a refugee. And he's a journalist. He's still very, very much active and still very much speaking against the regime. But the fact that he started coming to our sessions on Wednesday, so our English conversational group, meant for him that he felt more connected with the local community. And through that participation, he has made connections with other agencies here. And he is now been invited to multiple events to speak and to talk about his story. And he's, eventually hoping that he will be offered a job at some point. But he's very active in the community now, and that was through his participation in our English sessions, which he still comes. He still joins, even though he's very, he already knows everyone that he needs to know, but he is still coming, and he's still helping new refugees coming in to settle in and to show them around town. And he's still doing vlogs, so I can sort of share his YouTube channel if you want. And you can go and check his vlogs about living in Ipswich.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for sharing this. I will pass the word to Clara from Castelo Branco.
Hello, everyone. Saying again what Anna said, thank you for being here and thank you for the interest in Speak. My name is Clara. I have I'm a founder of Speak Castelo Branco since 2019. Castelo Branco is a Portuguese city in the middle of the country next to Spain. Ed Sheeran was not born here. I'm sorry to say that. And I will share a small story that we had here. And we sometimes share stories, but we feel like sometimes stories are not that big as a perspective, but they are very big in the life of the person that belong to the group, and how big it's the small impact that we can make in their lives. So I want to share a story about a Brazilian participant we had here. She recently, her and her family moved to Castelo Branco, and she joined to share English, learn English with us. And after a few sessions, she felt comfortable with sharing her story and saying like, only her husband was working, so the income was very low for the family. And she started asking how can she get more help, where she could go and get like support for her kids, meaning food and other kind of support. And with Speak, she felt comfortable enough with sharing this, and we were able to talk with a local association, and she was helped after that. So indeed, with Speak, we help with feeling at home, we help with learning a language, but we also help in other aspects of the life of people that are very big then in their sense of belonging in their new cities.
Thank you, Clara. I will pass the word to Narmin.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me well. My name is Narmin. I am the founder of Speak Lithuania. It means that we are in more than in one city, in Kaunas and Vilnius. Yeah, of course, we have also like a lot of similar stories like other countries and cities shared. One of the stories is the Anna from Ukraine. She was volunteering in Lithuania, then she went back to Ukraine, and she discovered the Speak during the middle of in 2020, during the middle of pandemic, and when we also started offering online groups. So since she was really passionate about the languages, she started to join also Lithuanian groups. I also was like taking Lithuanian groups because I'm not originally from there, so I'm learning the language still. And it happened that a year and a half later, she found a job in Lithuania and came to Kaunas, and we met there also. Like she started to help the community, especially the Ukrainian community here, to learn Lithuanian during the Lithuanian conversational sessions when we have the social meetings. So yeah, and she's still a active member of our community here in Lithuania.
Thank you, Narmin. Thank you all for sharing. I always feel like it's when it's up to impact is always a matter of listening to the real stories and the stories of our community members. So thank you for sharing today a story from your community, and thank you for what you have been creating locally. Going on with our presentation, why are we here today, and why we wanted to share with you one of the tools that can be used to make a community more inclusive. It's because, as we were saying before, in 2014 we were founded, but then in 2017, after validating our model and understanding our methodology and developing the technology that is behind the project, we realized that, of course, social inclusion is not only a challenge of Portugal, but it's a global challenge. And that's why there was a need of a bigger speak. And that's the moment when we created what it's called Take Speak to Your City. So Take Speak to Your City is a replication model, is a social franchising replication model that enables anyone to bring Speak to their city and to use this project to make their city more inclusive. Why and sorry, how does this work, and what's the process? Basically, we do empower, we give training, we give access to technology, to methodology, everything that is needed to the potential founders. And then locally, the potential founders are the real change maker, are the one that are really creating the positive impact into the society. So who are usually our replicators, and who are we working with to bring the project locally? We're working either with individuals or with organizations, and these are people that are deeply caring about the same values as ours. What are we looking at nowadays is individuals, organizations that maybe are already working within our mission, and that can and might see at Speak as a solution to add within their activities and to use it as well in their city. Maybe I'm stopping here, and I'm going to pass the word to Clara again. And I would like to ask you if you could please share a little bit more about why you decided to bring Speak to Castelo Branco, and also how was the experience? What are the achievements that you got during the last year?
Hello again. So I want to share a bit how's the journey in Speak Castelo Branco, and that journey kind of starts with me, so I need to give a little bit of background on this. I'm not original from here. I moved here to study, and I decided to stay. And for a few years, I was connected with another organization helping Erasmus being welcomed in the city. And after being a few years connected to this organization, I understood that I needed to give more to the community. And it totally made sense for me to just transition to Speak, in a meaning that after that, I was able to help migrants, refugees, every newcomer coming to the city where I was living. And that was exactly the feeling that I had to create Speak, is the need to give to the community. I have felt alone here, so it totally makes sense for me that I would help others that feel alone feel welcome and create this informal network of people to be part of this bigger community. So we started back in 2019. I was alone in the beginning, being the only founder. After that, the team was growing, and we had Daniela and Filipa joining. They were both living in Lisbon at the time, joining at Speak. They joined during the pandemic, and both of them also relocated to Castelo Branco, which was really nice to have the whole team here. And step by step, Speak Castelo Branco was recognized locally, and that it really helped that we started having lots of partnerships, local partnerships that work with the refugees, migrants, but also the local university. All of these partners help us reach the community locally and the people that belong to the city. And that's why we have 7 local partners here that also tell their members like, hey, you have Speak is a solution for you, join them. And this increases the reach of the project. After that, we're also able to get grants. When you start getting impacts, you write a lot of grants, and some of them you get, and it's really good when you get that recognition. And also it's good to have that investment that then you can give back to the community on organizing events. You have now funding to organize a bigger event, to give to the community on that sense. So yeah, this is a little bit the story of Speak Castelo Branco. Through the years, we've been engaging a lot with the community, migrants, refugees, international students. Like it's really a project for anyone.
Thank you, Clara, for sharing. And it's impressive. Like I would invite you to then go and follow these girls and to see the work that they have been doing, because the stories that they share, it's very impressive to see that. Going on, where are we today and what we have been reaching with this social franchising and replication model up to today? So as I was saying, we started in 2017 with scaling up, and up to today we are in 9 different countries. We are in more than 20 cities. As you can see, we're mostly in Europe. We also have a city in Bangladesh, in Dhaka. As for the year, like I would say, we're really focusing on a continuous scaling up in Europe, but we know that the project as it is can really work out also in other areas of the globe, and that's why we're open to many new destinations, I would say. What I miss saying here, and also what I would like to invite in a couple of minutes to talk about is how does this work in practice? So how can you actually make this a possibility and alive? As I was saying before, like we train you and we give you access to everything that you need to bring Speak to your city. So we have a full set of onboarding where we are going to meet and where we train. We give you everything that is needed to make this real. And then actually also along the duration of the project, the support is never disappearing somehow. We're always there, as it says here, to get your back. Like we got your back and we support along the journey. But I would like to invite Narmin to share here a little bit more about the daily life of a founder. Like how does it look like? How is it really to bring Speak to your city, in your case to 2 cities actually, and what does a look of a founder look like?
Thank you, Clara. I have, I don't know if you see me because I don't see where I am in the screen.
We do.
All right. So yeah, how does it look like the day of the founder? Well, when you bring the project to your new city, as you mentioned, we get also support from the central team, which is helping us to kind of focus on more on the community side. So meaning that all the technology, like all the technical part, is already done, and we have this time to understand the reality of our cities, our country, to research on the organizations that are, you know, impact organizations or the institutions, universities that might be needing this kind of integration process. So this like daily, basically we what I'm trying to understand, to find new partnerships in order to create a bigger impact in our community, to communicate with the room partners which can provide us the spaces where we can meet for our informed groups and events. And also just to create an event where we can bring the community members more often together, and also participating in some competitions or fairs wherever we can. We see that the project is fit, and for example, for us, we have participated in Migrant Talent Garden. We have won the local and international finals in the country, so that gave us also help to some amount of grant that helped us with our marketing and other things that we need. And yeah, basically, like, I don't know if you have some maybe specific questions that I missed. I know there's a lot of things, but these are just overview, like to coordinate the whole project, like all the language groups and the operations, and yeah.
Thank you, Narmin. I think that for sure, if there's any question related to the specific daily life after, we can follow up the Q&A moment that we have at the end. After sharing how the life of a founder looks like, I was mentioning this briefly before. What's the process? So also Narmin was saying that there's as soon as you want to bring Speak to your city, there's an important initial moment that is the onboarding, and this is nowadays a process of 8 weeks where we give you access to a training, and we sort of give you all the knowledge that you need to have to implement the project locally. This is also sort of a 8 weeks program where we start also to get to know each other. We start to get to know the needs of the city. We understand how actually the project can really work out locally, what is missing, how we can, like what is the way of implementing it locally. So these are very important 8 weeks together where we start the project. And then once this is done, we have what is called the agreement signature. So we have the official moment of the opening of the city. And then only after that, we have a new Speak city opening and a new Speak chapter working with us. Going toward the ends and talking about why Speak and why using Speak within your community. Well, you see here a couple of reasons and some of the let's say pro of joining this journey. But once again, I would like to invite Anna in this case to share a little bit about her own personal why you decided to become a Speak founder, why you decided to bring the project locally and to join this community.
Well, so Clara asked me to do this for a very specific reason, and it's because I got involved with Speak still in Portugal. I started with Speak in 2018 as a buddy to a very specific Portuguese group. We had like a group of Moroccan ladies that were in the community, and we were helping them learn Portuguese. And so that was my first interaction with Speak. I was with that group for about 9 months, I think, and I could see the impact that we were doing. Me and Ana Neto, the other buddy, and one of the responsibles for Speak in Ladia. So when I decided to move to England, there was this opportunity presented to me. So they told me, the central team told me that, look, you could do your Speak chapter, you could do take the Speak to the city that you're going to be in England. I thought hard about it, to be fair, very, very hard about it, because as you know, you're all sort of entrepreneurs, so you know how difficult it is to start something. But I was always, I always had someone always had my back. So every time that I had questions, I could go back to the central team and I could ask whatever questions I had. So I always felt that I had the support that I needed to start this. It wasn't easy. It's not easy to start, you know, anything new when you're also new into that particular place. So I moved to Ipswich and I started Speak Ipswich probably about a year after I've moved. So I was still very much new to town. And I was still very much getting to know the organizations that were around that could potentially help me. And then we had the pandemic as well. So that was, perfect timing. So Speak Ipswich started in March 2020. We had to redo the whole model. We had to go through the pandemic, but now, through very, very hard work, we are connected. We have lots of partners in town that we work with every day. We have multiple groups running face to face, and it is. I'm going to be very honest. There's been multiple times that I've just wanted to give up, because I still have a full-time job. I do speak as a side job. But when I go to the groups and when I see everyone smiling, when I see everyone, connecting, when I see them making plans to go out for dinner or to meet up at the weekend to go to the park or to go to different cities, and I know that I was able to be a part of that, it just warms my heart, and I'm just like, okay, let's do it. Let's continue to do it. Let's focus on what we have to do, focus on the funding and getting some money to continue to do this, which is quite important, building new relationships and everything. So I've been through all the steps that are in Speak. I've been a buddy, I've been an ambassador, so I've created the events, I've become a founder. I'm still a buddy to some of the groups. But yeah, so I've been through the whole journey from one end to the other, and yes, it is it is not easy, but you will have someone to help you, and the other founders as well. So we're all sort of a big family that when I know that I can message Clara and she's going to be like, yeah, this is what I did and it worked for me, so I know that I can try that. So even if if you do want to make some change in your local community, that that is something that you want to do, Take Speak to Your City will be one of the options that you have, because it is very much, like Clara mentioned before, community-led. So it is the actual community doing and changing. So yeah, so give it a try, and we'll be here to help you.
Thank you, Anna. I think that this is like a perfect closure. I don't want to add many words to this, because I think it was a perfect way to end. But probably Anna just mentioned one thing. She has been buddy, she has been participant, she has been through the journey of the Speak experience. And I would just add another call to action to the other one that we have out here today, which is bring Speak to Your City. But one thing that maybe we didn't mention, but I think that is understandable from the testimonials that we had here, Speak is also online nowadays. So if you are curious about what's the impact, what's the effect, what can I do, you can already be part of this. You can already go on speak.social and check and join the community and start experiencing this. And I really think that being part of it, even before bringing in it to your community, this is really helpful for you to have a full understanding of what then you can make happen into your city, what real impact you can create, what you can change in people's life in your own city. So I also would invite you to do this. We are towards the end of our presentation today. We have still some time. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen as well at the same time, so I can also go back and see all of you. Nice. So we still have some minutes before the end, and I would like to ask to everyone to the floor if there's any question or any thoughts, any impression as well. Super welcome to jump in. I don't know if there's any question that were left here. No, but thank you for sharing, all of you, your contacts. Yes, Nicola.
Okay, so hi everyone, first of all, and thanks for this amazing presentation. I would like to. I was wondering on two issues mainly. So the first one would be, I think you, Clara, mentioned that after the onboarding, there's the agreements signatory phase. So actually, is the contract signed after the onboarding, or is it vice versa? And that's the first question. And the second question would be to, I guess, to any or all of the other speak representatives from other cities other than the central one in Portugal. And it is this one. How is it like to, and could you give us some insights as to relating with governments or institutions to get grants and awards from them, please?
Okay, we'll jump to the first question, and then I will leave the floor to the other three, and I think that the three of you can actually get some answer to the question from Nicola. As for the agreement signature, yes, it is after the onboarding. So why is this after the onboarding? It's because for us it's really important to give you access to everything related to how it is to really deal with speak locally, so that you have a full understanding. And only after that, only after these 8 weeks, we have the signature of the agreement and the official opening of the city. So yes. For the second question, I'll leave the floor, and Clara and Narmin, who wants to go first?
I can go first. I think Narmin will have a lot to add to this question. But fortunately, last year we got a grant from Portugal Social Innovation, and we were able to have one person full-time working for the project. So yes, what we do is we run for everything that is open on the country. Also Erasmus, we run for Erasmus grants, we run for the banks, like Portuguese banks also have their social part, and we run for those type of grants. We don't get all the time, but we run for all of them. So yeah, we can get those type of supports. But I think Narmin will add on the part of also the prizes and so on, because she's more active on that.
Narmin, do you want to add on this?
Sure. Yeah, I think I mentioned earlier that we also attend to any auditions that are also, we have received a grant from Erasmus funding, and also we do apply to municipality open calls or the Ministry of Culture calls. Of course, it's not always that you get it. So it's just you always whenever you see the opportunity, just need to see if it's requirements are met with the organization, and we can we apply, we prepare the proposal and we apply. And regarding this, the question was only for the government or like institutions, I guess. So if it's more
actually
generic,
from any kind of donor, actually mainly institutions, but any kind of donor. So if you feel free to speak of anything, please.
We also have as a part of one of the projects that we have been running crowdfunding campaign as well. And besides that, we are working on our B2B strategy. So we have done some B2B sales for the organization and the universities, and working on developing that more to offer to more companies and organizations.
Yeah, so I guess just to add here, as you all know, the UK is no longer in the European Union. So Erasmus Plus is not an option for us. We don't have any access to any European funds at the moment. So what we do here is we do very much focus on the local grants that are available. So anything that are specific to Ipswich or Suffolk, which is the name of the county where we are. Even national grants are quite difficult to come across for us, but we have managed to get funding from the local council to continue to run the project. So there are funding options available. As long as you look for them, you will find them.
Let me just add one thing here. Thank you for sharing. I think the 3 cities that we have here today have actually different experience also with the funding. Today in the call we also have Ines from Speak that you can see in the call. She's our new fundraising manager, and I think that if she wants to add, of course, she can add on this. But a Speak social franchising chapter, as you can understand, can run for funding, can establish a legal entity, and can also do this looking for opportunities. And in this journey, we will be on the side to share our knowledge as much as we know. We also work a lot with philanthropy in the central team level. And this actually it's something that it's a constantly learning process for us. So we will be there also along the journey to support you when you have an opportunity. I don't know if there's any other question. We are over the time by now, and I'm sorry for that to keep you here more than expected. But if there's no other question, I will probably, you saw my contact in the presentation as well. And you can find us as well, like on LinkedIn. I see that the founders also share their contacts. So if you have any follow-up question, feel free to reach out to any of us. I really thank you for your presence today. I thank you again, Joette and Catalyst 2030 for the space that you gave us and you created here today for this meeting. I hope to see you in follow-up conversation, all of you, and I hope to see many more inclusive communities around the globe, eventually through the use of Speak as well, if possible. So thank you so much for today, and I wish you a good rest of the afternoon, if you still have an afternoon ahead. I don't know where you all are located, and a good weekend. Okay, thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you very much. Before we go, there's a feedback
Sorry,
form.
Joette.
There's a feedback form. Can we please fill it before we leave? I'm putting it in the chat.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry,
and
didn't know of that.
No problem. Also, we have awards coming up, so I will put that as well, the link to that as well in the chat. And then we opened the Catalyst Markets last month or so. So I'm putting all that in the chat and then our socials. So you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter,